All right. Welcome to a special Sunday edition of Live Your Truth. Got this together, man, with Brother Basim, a good brother who talks about the real deal, right? Brother Basim and I got together to talk about what it means to stand together on some issues. Brother Basim, I first noticed him on Facebook helping men deal with hidden trauma. Okay. Just a space for us to talk about things that affect the way we treat our women, our children in our communities. So I'm like, let's do something together. He's like, yeah, let's get it. So I sent to him information about these high school shootings. The one in Oklahoma, a young man, and we'll look at that over here on Facebook. Please follow me on Facebook, First Step Coaching, to become a wealth builder, to basically just to change your life. Take the first step to change your life, bottom line. But also, just want to make sure that you guys understand that over on YouTube, I'm building this movement up for you guys. I've been podcasting for over 2 years now. Thank you very much. I will continue to do so, not because it's putting money in my pocket, but because through the First Step Coaching Program, it can put money in yours, right? Also, what can it do that's higher on a more elevated plane than make money? What it can do is it can offer us unity. Unity is now available to the African people and culture because the leadership has returned. If you haven't seen African Messiah versus Government Scum, you should go ahead and check that out. At the end of the day, someone has to say stop. No one likes to be told no. I get that. But just stop. We are not each other's enemy. We're not. And this is not just about people that look like me, if you're watching this and you don't. The rich have always been the enemy of the poor. That's the real enemy. If you are not uber wealthy, then your enemy is people who are, because it's their thing in life to keep their position by keeping you down. So if you're European or Latino or Asian or African like myself, the rich people that look like us want to keep us down. Oh yeah. You talk to any African, any Asian, you talk to any Latino in America, and they'll tell you that where they're from, their own people are keeping them down. It's corruption, there's no elevation, Arabic, throw y'all in there too. Their own people are keeping them down. The rich in their own country are keeping them down. So they come to America because here, even though that's happening here, they can still see a lot more than they can by their own people. And this is real. So we should have unity within the ranks. There shouldn't be discord. I hope you get what I'm saying. And even if you don't, listen. Just listen a little bit more. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I don't mind your comments. Go ahead and jump in here. Let's go. This podcast and everyone that I do, no matter who I collab with, is being brought to you courtesy of the First Step Coaching Academy. You can follow it on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook page, but you want to elevate, get a Facebook page and follow the First Step Coaching Academy, right? Just First Step Coaching. I mean, it's simple. First Step Coaching. 3 different words. Make sure you put the space in there. Look it up on Facebook. It'll pop right up. Then download immediately the EFC workbook. All right? Effort, focus, and commitment. That's why I am today. I put that into your life for free. I will apply the EFC philosophy and process to each of your 6-month course curriculums. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, I'm going to today put out the flyer for the first real digital flyer for the different classes and courses you can take at the Academy online. You'll be coached and taught and led by myself, and I will help you overcome things like social anxiety, having a low emotional intelligence. I will help you increase your learning capacity. I'll help you get better sleep and better rest to overcome sleep deprivation. These are things that you need. The First Step Coaching Academy, First Step Coaching on Facebook is important for all of you to take that first step towards your goal. If you're stuck, I get it. I used to be there, but you're not stuck because you don't know that you're not stuck. You're stuck because you haven't decided to change who you are. You want the same things. If you want to change who you are, change what you want. All right. Let me look this up real quick for you guys so I can get you guys going. It's just opportunity here for us to really dig in and get a good vibe going. All right. All right. Let's look at what we can find on this situation. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and screen share. And again, if you aren't following me on YouTube, I'm gonna unfriend you anyway, so it's not gonna matter. But I'm unfriending everybody that's not moving forward with me. This is a movement. I'm no longer a man. I'm now a movement. Dig it. Can you dig it? All right. Let's present this for everybody. Get the screen share going. I appreciate you guys for jumping into this special weekend game day version, last preseason games. All right. So what do we have here? All right. Right here, we have the news about the high school shooting in Oklahoma. It says teen dead, others injured in shooting at Oklahoma high school football game. Police say. It's a game. It's a game, people. You're supposed to go there, cheer for your team, and have a good time. What are you bringing deadly weapons to a game for? To a game. Who brings a deadly weapon to play Scrabble? Chutes and ladders. This is how ridiculous you're being. And when I see people that look like me doing these types of things, I'm upset. It upsets me. It does. Because we are not each other's enemy. None of us. Whether you're Latino, Asian, Arabic, you know what I'm saying, no matter African, no matter what, we are not each other's enemy. We're all scraping to survive. If our kids have a good time competing in sports and they want to show their talent, get behind that. When you're poor, when you're living in poverty, when you're struggling to make, when you're living check to check, these types of events can be the only things that lift you above, that elevate you for a second, the whole family. I'm I'm against this kind of violence. Find a different way to take care of your issues with someone than to pick up a gun, a knife, or a bat. You can do better than that. And if you can't, watch my podcast. Reach out to me. Calendly.com/Coach Taib. Don't let the hurt inside you become the hurt you force onto somebody else. We can all heal together. For more information, follow me on First Step Coaching on Facebook or Taib Muad'Dib 4019 over here on YouTube. I want your inbox. Let's go. All right. I got that done over there. Let me go ahead and play this real quick while I get this together. All right. All right. Let's get this going. All right. So, small snippets. They're just providing for us. They're just showing us the shooting so we can see it. One teen is dead. One teen is being killed. A teen killed at that. I just I can't get my mind around that. A teen is dead at a football game and not of natural causes. A teen. All right. Get this going. Yeah, so a teen has passed away. They're not giving us much information on it. So I have to read it to you guys. It says one person is dead and several injured after a shooting at a high school football game in the Oklahoma City metro Friday night. The shooting occurred in the third quarter between Dell City and Choctaw. Multiple gunshots were heard throughout the stadium, and players and officials ran off the field while others lay down on the field and in the stands. Choctaw police chief said early that the shots were fired by an unknown member of individuals at the game, and at least one shot during the exchange was fired by an off-duty Dell City police officer. Marshall confirmed a 16-year-old boy had died from a gunshot wound to the groin, sustained in the incident. The young man was not a student of Choctaw or Dell City high schools, according to Marshall. In a Saturday press release, Marshall said officials. In a Saturday press release, Marshall said officials believed an argument started between at least two males, which led to the shooting. Several additional victims were taken to an area hospital. A 42-year-old man was transported to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the chest and is in stable condition. A 15-year-old girl shot in the thigh was treated and released. Two other females believed to be students were injured trying to leave the area, sustaining broken wrists and a broken leg. All right. So stop sharing that right there. So you guys tell me, in Atlanta, a young man was shot, paralyzed, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? In my day, it was babies having babies. Now it's kids killing kids. Kids. Why do kids want to kill other kids? What's going on at home, parents? What's going on in the communities? Let's talk about this. If you're against violence, let's talk about the root cause. Hurt, angry, bored, a bunch of young people that don't have someone in their life to mentor them. All right. Welcome, Brother Basim. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing today, brother?
All right, man. I'm glad you jumped in here. I'm going hard on the deal. I just got done sharing the information about the young teen that was killed in Oklahoma in a high school football shooting.
Yeah, that's definitely a tragedy. Uh, and we really have to start being more accountable when it comes to things of this nature. You know, we're running around here, we're destroying each other for pretty much nothing. Clout chasing, trying to be known, and you know, it's a sad situation when it comes to us. We don't know how to love on each other as people, and we really need to like do some serious soul searching and figure out who we are and how we're going to move forward, because we can't move forward as long as we continue to go down this dark path. We need to see some light.
Exactly. Exactly. So you deal with your I met you in your platform. And I was talking about what your platform was when I met you. You were talking about men dealing with hidden trauma. So what got you on that path, and what's the journey been like trying to help men admit that they have trauma, and admit that they need healing from it? What's that been like really touching lives in that way?
It's very rewarding to actually find someone that's willing to take that journey of digging deep within inside themselves and releasing that trauma that's been holding them back. Myself, I dealt with a lot of trauma myself, so therefore, after traveling the journey, I wanted to open that up and help others to walk that path and get that monkey off their back, because a lot of time when we're dealing with that trauma, we stuck. We can't get shake it off. We might put on a mask every day and pretend that we're doing well, but at the end of the day, we're stuck. We're
All
not
right.
growing. We get up every day with that same pain and we don't know how to release it.
All
So
right.
therefore, a lot of times we find ourselves hurting others around us because we in pain and we don't know how to express our pain. So therefore, a lot of times we express our pain with violence.
So going with what you just said right there, what do you have to say to a young person, probably no father at home, or just in a situation where they live in an environment where they do have dad at home, but the peer pressure from the streets is so heavy that they feel peer pressured into being violent. Like, man, if you don't do this, you a punk. Or girl, if you don't do this, you weak, you a lame. What do you have to say to the young people when it's time for them to make a leadership or a follower decision? What do you have to say to that person?
You have to find out who you are. A lot of times, most of us have no idea who we are because we're dealing with the trends of today, the fashions of the day. We're trying to fit in. And when you're trying to fit in, you're fitting into an equation that sometimes actually has nothing to do with you. So the actual key to life is to figure out what it is that fits into what you fit into, who you are. What do you really look like from the inside out? Most of us look at life from outside in. We have to start looking at life from inside out, because your greater factors for yourself are actually inside, not outside.
Now you know
You
what?
know,
You took on a wholly, totally different path. Like if you would have asked me that question like Tiger Moody, what would you say? I say don't go to jail. I've been to jail, you don't want to go to jail. Like you took a whole different path on it. Like that's so deep. Like young people, you probably won't know who you are till like 25. He went real
hmm
deep. But you should have a purpose. You should have a purpose. I will rock with him on that. But let me tell you something. There is consequences that you don't want to deal with that's life lasting or life ending. There's young people in Wisconsin. I'm connected, Brother Basim, to a young man through family. My brother who's passed away has two sons. Now, his mama people had a couple of sons, and one of those sons hadn't been out of juvenile correctional facilities for a week, hadn't been out for a week, and went out and got in a car with friends and was shooting at people that they didn't like and ended up killing an 11-year-old girl. Rest in peace,
wow.
at least. An 11-year-old girl. So no one that was shooting or having beef got killed or hurt. Just a person that was an innocent bystander.
Well,
So
you know, that's usually how it happens. Someone has absolutely nothing to do with the nonsense, become victim to the nonsense.
well, maybe
You
in
know,
Jersey, but not in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm talking about a community where, in general, 11-year-olds aren't shot and killed. But what I'm saying to you is that it's indicative of what you're saying. Young people with no identity, with no purpose, right? So
absolutely.
so you young people these days, you're susceptible to the wiles of the world. Now, I don't care if you Muslim or Christian, you understand that you're a spiritual being. There's no way to
hmm
get around that. And so there's an attack on your spiritual life. There is evil forces, dark forces. So when it says in the word, in respect to all the Muslims, when it says in the word of God that all good and perfect things come from above, that when I read that in the word of God, I realized if I was having dark thoughts, that I probably wouldn't want to go with them. And Brother Basim, I've said this plenty of times as a young person and all throughout my life. You have to consider this, people. These are, I'm going to confirm genius. This young man right here obviously is as well, because we're using our minds for the benefit elevation of our people. And that doesn't mean people that look like us. What I'm saying to you is, Brother Basim, if the devil himself, if we had identified who the devil is, let's just say this is like the last days and we know who he is. He said, I'm the devil. If the devil himself was standing beside you and told you to do something, would you do it? This is for you, brother. I'm saying if it was the devil saying, yeah, go ahead, kill that bottle of Jim Beam and then go see Shirley. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
talk to us. Talk to us.
Absolutely not. Because I've mastered myself somewhat. Whereas though I have discipline, first of all, as a man, I have discipline. You know, certain things that I'm just not going to do.
All
And
right.
that's a choice.
All right.
You know, we have choices. You know, I have a wife.
Okay.
So that would be infidelity to run with that woman. One, I don't drink alcohol. That's two. You know, I don't put any intox. You know, we have to make solid choices. You
All
know,
right.
brother from out there in Houston, he said it best. You know, every day you get up, you get a chance and you get a choice. We have to make better choices. You know, everything that look good ain't good.
And so now that was the point I was going to make. Young people, you have these weapons and these guns. So you're carrying someone's life and possibly your own in your hand. All right. My thing is this: who is telling you that it's that serious? A rap artist? Oh, I carry my tool on me. I keep my thing on me. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. What is that? As a person that's supposed to make music, your mentor, your life mentor. Let me tell y'all something. When NWA, you young people don't know this because it's dated. Let me tell you young people something. When NWA made an album talking about it was misogynistic and it was violent. When they put it out, you saw African men and women going at it. The whole album. African men putting sisters down, talking about them like they're sexual objects, and talking about shooting, killing each other like it was fun. But as soon as they put a song out that said F the police, and that became a hit, the FBI reached out to their music manager. Them guys shouldn't be saying stuff like that. They got arrested on tour for doing the song. So what I'm saying to you is the music industry has always supported lyrics where we as a people are talking about hurting, killing, treating each other wrong, but we'll jump on it in a heartbeat if we talk about if I made a song today called "Burn That Store Down." Let's go downtown and burn that store down. You know what I'm saying? There would be so much blowback for that. Wouldn't it, Brother Basim?
Well, like I said, nowadays there's a lack of common sense. We have to have common sense. It would make sense. And a lot of times we are proactive opposed to being reactive. We just do. And then we'll think about it after the fact. If a lot of times we took 15 seconds to actually think about the actions we're about to do, we really put some deep thought into it. A lot of times we wouldn't do it because it doesn't make sense.
All right.
Yeah, we can blame rap music. It does play a very important part. We also have to look at the movie industry as well. We can't just put the light on one. We have to look at all these great movies that come out, got you shooting up the whole world and all that. That's not logical. We know it as entertainment. And we have to be able to decipher these rap lyrics as entertainment as well, And if you're not mature enough to understand that as entertainment, then maybe you need to not listen to it until you're mature enough to understand it's just entertainment. Somebody just running their mouth. It sounds good. It sounds slick. But when you get them 30 years in jail, that's the reality. Ain't nothing entertaining about that. I seen plenty of men do plenty of time, and trust me, you can't make that time up. That's what we don't understand until them doors close and you like, I'm getting ready to spend the next 30 years or possible the rest of my life in a cell. That's a reality. You can't get none of that back.
None of it.
And you gotta walk that walk every day for the next 30 years or possibly the rest of your life. So therefore, my suggestion is you need to put some thought into your decision making. A lot of us ain't good at decision making.
And that was my whole
We look
point
at others.
That was my whole point earlier. I'm going to cut you off. That was my whole point earlier about when I was talking about the thing that happened in Madison, Wisconsin, is that when I talked to my nephew and I'm like, you had an opportunity to hold him accountable. You might not have told your aunt, but you could have told me. I would have been able to reach out to your mom, who would have then told her sister, hey, keep an eye on them. If you need help dealing with them, reach out to the community. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to community resources. Get some intervention involved. If you love your son, he's out of control, what do you do? And so that lets me know that, shout out to all the stars that are doing whatever they can to start youth camps, to support recreation centers. When I grew up, Brother Basim, the recreation center was like a place where you went really to recreate, to learn.
Absolutely.
So we there was look, there's no quote unquote money, but there is. But I'm saying we had team clubs. Now, yeah, there was a fight or two here or there outside of it, but for the most part, the team club was the thing. So I'm glad I grew up in the Mass Wisconsin area because we had team fun opportunities, right? It was, it wasn't just the sports. There was opportunities to learn and grow, trips and camps. So I'm just saying I was exposed to a different parts of life than just waking up and putting on a color or throwing up a gang sign and wanting to hurt somebody without me knowing why. That makes sense to
But
you?
it makes a lot of sense, and we're so far away from that now. It's like a lot of our young people, they grow up into this gang culture now, and it's sad because you running around here with ops, as they call them nowadays, and y'all don't even know each other. Sometimes y'all standing in line on the same bus, you can't identify with each other until somebody else plug you in. Oh, that's your op right there, because that individual ain't never did nothing to you. That individual don't even know you exist. You know, a lot of times our young people are taking on these ops due to friendships, uh, 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 gang buddies, gang brothers, however you want to call it, and they're creating what they call ops. And you're running around here at an individual that you never had contact with. So how can you be upset and want to murder somebody that you never had contact with, so they never did anything to you? These are the things you have to ask yourself. You have to do some serious soul searching and ask yourself, why am I going and having problems with somebody that I don't even have any contact, I don't even know? We got to wake up, man.
You know, when I say African men against violence, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like we have to let the world know, that we're not promoting that. That the few individuals who are promoting that, you know what I'm saying, like that's them. That's not what we're on, right? We have a whole different script to follow. That's all I'm basically saying. We have we have a whole different script to follow. All right.
Well, when it comes to men, we want to see our communities strive. We want to see our communities grow. We want to get back to being great people, but we can't be great people as long as we continue to allow ourselves to be caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense. You
Right.
know, like I said, we should be having discussions about financial goals opposed to running around here talking about this kind of Glock or this kind of SIG or this kind of machine gun. We need to have deeper discussions on how to grow wealth, because that's another big part of what's going on, poverty. We don't have, so those that don't have, they tend to cling together and have nothing together, opposed to trying to get together to get something greater.
Let me go ahead one more time, just since you're on here now, and pull up this high school shooting deal so everybody can understand what we're talking about. It's in Oklahoma, right next to the state of Texas, where I live at right now. And we're talking about this is the raw real right here. It says there's a teen dead, others injured at Oklahoma shooting incident, right? So what's wrong with that? What's wrong in the world when we have, people shooting people at a high school football game, right? Let's just take a look at. So when you're in a situation when everything that a African person or Latino person, when the mainstream media is taking control of the narrative, and we're looking at these situations, and it's just like, oh, these bleeps are crazy, like it doesn't help us to have unity amongst ourselves. And I started this show by saying that the enemy for all people has always been the rich. I said that in different countries, there people are coming to America because in their own countries, the rich in their countries are keeping them down. So from the Latinos to the Arabics to the Asians, they're all coming over to America to have opportunity to have more freedom and more wealth. And we understand this, right? So what I'm saying is, but the American media is pointing the finger at one individual group of people, right? One individual group of people, but in certain situations, it's applicable. It's just like, who is the enemy? Why are you bringing guns to a football game? And for most of us who are living check to check, the football game, you young people understand. Us as parents, we pay all this money to make sure the kids can participate, that they're healthy, that they're fed, that they're well. We support practices, take them to games. Y'all don't understand when y'all come ruin an event like that, how much went into organizing that event so other young people, it might not be your choice, so other young people can express themselves, so the community can have some uplift and come together and unify around a game. It's tough for me. Go ahead, brother.
It's definitely a sad situation. That young man lost his life, and from the media that flashed upon my TV yesterday evening, he was an innocent bystander. It was an altercation between two other individuals that he got caught up in. And that's another thing, with all this shooting and everything that's going on. Here it is, a lot of innocent people getting shot. You're not a good shot. You can't even shoot what you're supposed to be your op, which you shouldn't be shooting at anyway. You shooting innocent people because you done picked up a gun and you don't even know how to actually shoot a gun. It's sad. We need to, like I said, we just need to, what happened to old school? If I got a problem with you and you got a problem with me, we gonna meet up and we can go ahead and have a fist fight and see another day. You know, some of your greater friends became your friends because of them fist fights. Because you had a mutual respect for one another's skill set. We don't give that an opportunity nowadays.
Well, so okay, so even with that,
I'm not saying it's great, but it's a different alternative.
well,
Go to the rec, put the
well,
boxing gloves on, get in the boxing ring, box it out, and you're gonna see another day.
okay, but to your earlier point about the issue, right? If this
Mhm.
young female chose me, or if your social media following is bigger than mine, or if somebody is hating and says something, how are you taking it? We are wounded so easily these days. You know what I'm saying, brother Basim? Like back in my day,
Well,
like now we have an ultra sensitive society. People want to put on panties and drawers and do all kind of weird perverted stuff. People want to, you know what I'm saying? It was, you want to have a beard and a wig on. I'm just saying, people are so ultra sensitive. Oh, don't say nothing about how I'm dressed, how I look. Like people are so ultra sensitive, and this is not a crack at the LGBTQ community over much. It's just that I'm saying, has this movement made everybody just so oversensitive? Everything is disrespect now to the highest level that you have to die. And that's why I go back to rap music. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's screaming, if you disrespect me, I got to kill you. If you disrespect me, I got to take you out. If you disrespect, I got to lay you down. I'm saying it's like there's no real a world where people are gonna say stuff that they don't mean. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna make errors in judgment. They might be a little bit, under the influence, whatever. And they're gonna shoot their mouth off. But when did that become something you killed somebody for? Talk to me, brother Basim.
But you have to understand once again when you're dealing with their media. I have to say their media because most of us don't own any media. You tend to take things out of content because that's the way it's presented to you. And nowadays, we're dealing with a generation that are more feelings and emotions. Like I said, I'm old school. I grew up on ego and pride, but you can't really say anything. It's sad because the the feelings that are involved now is just like unbelievable.
And the adults,
And
look, we're culpable, Brother Basim. I don't want you
we
old
are.
people like me and Brother Basim, older, distinguished gentlemen. I don't want y'all judging the young people. We are at fault. What are we showing them? It's moms fighting at Walmart in front of their kids. You know what I'm saying? On film, on camera, on social media, fighting at Walmart, fighting at stores, grocery stores. Can't what are you fighting at a grocery store where there's enough? I can't believe that you took the last grape jelly at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. So what are we fighting in the store for? So I'm saying like, and then here's the thing. My last
Well,
point before it
well,
goes crazy. I'm just saying like personally, Brother Basim, like at the end of the day, we still have to get to a place where we're understanding that we as adults, we're just not providing the right kind of leadership and direction and image for these young people.
well, you got to understand. You have to pay attention to the content. You got your love and hip hop. You got your housewives. You have so many negative images of people, and for whatever reason, nowadays we adopt to these individuals and we choose them as what we want to model and be like, and we follow that. And it's sad because that's a story script. That's really not the truth. You know,
What's the truth? Tell us the truth.
it, it, people don't live like that. You know what I'm saying? They get paid to act a fool, and then you going out in the street acting a fool, trying to emulate what you've seen, and now you find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. So we have to figure out once again what's entertainment and what is reality.
Let me ask you a question. Should we now, as conscious individuals, attack the FCC for allowing rap and hip hop to put violence and misogynistic verses in their lyrics and be played publicly? So what I'm saying is you don't have nary country music song, maybe rock and roll, but still country music is outselling a lot of different genres in music. You don't have nary country song saying, I'm going to slide on down the Blue Hill River and shoot up Tommy and Bill because they represent a different Hatfield in this film that I want to kill. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have that. So how is a
No,
whole
no, no, no,
genre?
no.
How is a whole genre selling millions and millions of records and getting downloads and millions of downloads without even the mention of killing each other on site? Talk to me.
Well, you have to look at country music. You have to look at their audience first. Mostly Caucasian, mostly. And then you look at rap music, you have mostly African Americans. So they're doing two things at one time. I'm exposing you to a criminal life and I'm creating self-hate. So therefore we find ourselves in a position of destroying ourselves because everybody's chasing a bag that's pretty much imaginary. It's imaginary bag. It's not a real bag. You know, everybody's not going to be a multimillionaire from rapping. And the way rap is set up, the dirtier your lyrics are, the more you'll sell. The more you talk about harming your people, the more you talk about putting drugs in your community, the more you glorify doing negative things, we're going to make you a bigger star. Country Western, a lot of times it's about, I guess, love, situations, everyday situations. But you're right, there's no real violence in Country Western. But you have to understand, we're dealing with two different types of people.
Well, I mean, I'm saying what I'm saying is look, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody that knows what a barbecue really actually means, what the
Hmm.
origins of barbecue was. If you don't know the origin of barbecue, all you African people out here loving barbecue, loving to go, they have, it says barbecue on stores that sell barbecue. You know what I'm saying? So barbecue, like, we should, African people have the right to launch, lawsuits against any restaurant, like the Washington Redskins. Now it's called the Washington Commanders. Why? Because the Indian folks is like, man, that's not us. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting no money off
Hmm.
that. Y'all using our name, image, likeness. African people have a right to launch. Now that the LGBTQ community is so protected and all their feelings, we should just start launching stuff. Me and Brother Basim, I'm gonna get a petition going online. Then we're gonna get an attorney. We're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna holler at Ben Crump. We're gonna lodge lawsuits against the FCC for allowing radio stations and all other platforms that are mainstream media uh, uh, authorized. We're going to launch an investigation into why they're allowing such violence to be spoken about when it comes to that genre of music. Not just that, but we should definitely launch into this whole barbecue thing. How can you promote? You got to call it something else now. You can't call it something that's traumatizing me and my kids every day we go out the house. No more, no more. We got to start. It's been successfully done for other cultures, right? So we need to go
Well,
ahead.
not to cut you off, you have to understand the biggest thing. Other coaches come together. For whatever reason, we can't seem to come together, especially when it comes to something that's going to create a financial gain. You know, we will start off with a great movement, and in the process, that movement will seem to be lost due to the fact of we have adapted to greed. If I think you're gonna get $1 more than I'm gonna get, I got a problem with that. And we have to stop being like that because we have to look at the greater good for us all as a people, opposed to getting caught up in the currency. Because once we can start getting things that are tangible, we can start making a great difference. But we can't make a difference as long as we continue to separate and have problems when it comes to $1. So we have to figure out a way to come together and not let it just be about $1, but it be about us becoming great as people.
All right, I'll give you that, but it does not mean that we shouldn't put money behind getting the government, it's either exposing the government for who they are or getting them to start putting some regulations on what's able to be put on music and put in mainstream media. That's just the bottom line. I mean, there's no way around. If you in a country of mass shootings, if the government continues to allow people to say it's cool to shoot somebody, then we have a problem with that, and we're going to sue them.
That's a whole nother story in a nutshell. When you're talking about a government, I mean, this whole country was built on murder, sacrifices of other people. So therefore, you talking about a government, it can't see because that's part of it's wrong. So you're not talking about a government that's gonna really like stand up and be like, oh well, yeah, we see where that could be a problem at.
So, with you saying that, you remember I'm the person that always spoke about the Citizens Justice League. So
Hmm.
so the people who were here first, the Folsom people who are African people, were here first. The people that we call Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, derived from Folsom people. We understand this. So then the Europeans arrived, and ever since the Europeans arrived with their level of judicial manners, there has never been true justice in this country. So when people use the word judicial and then use the word justice, it's basically it's a way to hoodwink the public because judicial and justice are two incongruent words. They don't mean the same thing. They have different functions foundationally. So my point is this: exposing this government that we call a government, exposing them and how we're going to regulate in a time when mass shootings and too much shootings is happening. If we say, okay, we're going to go to the root, we're not going to let our young people's minds be filled with so much violence, video games, violent rap lyrics, all that stuff is kaput. Now now the government says, oh, they can do as they please. Now that gives me the right to say this is why we should apply for applications for membership to the Citizens Justice League. In 10,000 applications, I myself will go to the United Nations and I will apply and request sovereignty for people that really want true justice on this continent. Have never getting it, never, I've always been denied it. It's our turn, our time to have justice. Now that is unification worthy. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But like I said, we all have to become on one accord and want to stand up and seek justice, and what's a hard find because like I said, if I offer you a little something over here, okay, I don't want to do that no more. And that's been our problem coming through this whole ordeal. Cut a deal over here. Oh, I'll pull a rug from over there. I'm gonna pull a rug from over there. So don't worry about that.
A lot of people won't believe fat meets greasy. I understand that. We're going to divide ourselves, but clearing away the chaff is important for this movement. Clearing away the people that would hurt our core new community anyway. We don't want them. We don't want them around us anyway. The people that go that route will fare ye well and wish them well, and they'll have to watch me outside looking in as we unify, create a governmental body for us that's for us, and that can be an example for all of what real justice looks like. The Citizens Justice League, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you can go to the Muad'Dib Global page. You can Google it, Muad'Dib Global. You can just, whatever you want to do, inbox me. I'll send you the link. 10,000 applications, and I will apply for sovereignty. I've had 2 so far, but but our conditions continue. My last thing I want to bring up is this whole white folding chair movement. What do you think about that?
I think it's buffoonery. Once again, another way of making a buck. You know, we know why that chair was used. That was actually it was a situation going on. Once again, we taking that and it's become buffoonery and people are cashing in on it.
So buffoonery, you have to break that down for folks that don't have a third grade reading level.
Okay, buffoonery is they're making a mockery out of a situation that occurred a few weeks ago where a man deemed picking up a chair for as protecting himself and others, and he used it against those that were creating a problem and others.
Okay, so for me, I want to put out there for what it is. We as a people can't complain about unnecessary and unwarranted violence against us when we're ready and willing to do it against them. We can't say that they're wrong for doing it each time they have the opportunity if we're going to do it ourselves. That's it for me in a nutshell. The white folding chair movement, just all that says is you Europeans have, put us, held us down, held your foot on our neck for 500 years. So as soon as we get the opportunity to do it, we gonna bash. We gonna get violent. We gonna cause injury and hurt, harm, and pain too. So for me, that's a big no-no. We're not going to elevate as a people by doing what they did to elevate as a people. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is Taibu Muad'Dib right here, man. I host the podcast Live Your Truth Monday through Friday. My podcast is now correctly and appropriately fully integrated with my First Step coaching program. So each episode will be, aside from these specials I do with Brother Basim, you can holler at either of us on our pages for more information or more counseling individually. But each episode of Live Your Truth is now an opportunity to take that episode as a 6-month course at the First Step Coaching Academy. You can follow it on Facebook at First Step Coaching. Brother Basim, talk about your platform.
Right now, currently, I have Overcoming Your Fear. I have a 12-week program guaranteed to help you move forward with overcoming that fear. You can reach out to me at Basim Abdulaziz, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Grab you a seat. Let's stop moving forward and stop being stuck. Too many of us spend too much time being stuck. You look up, you're 50 years old, you're still dealing with the same situation. You haven't been able to overcome that monkey. Let's move forward. So don't be shy, tap in, and let's get started. Let's put this work in.
So it's interesting that we have so much going on for us. That's a good thing. It's interesting. I just want to say, I really appreciate us. This right here. We get a couple more good brothers in here. Get a 4 or 5 man team, and we just look at some of the issues and we talk about some issues, and we actually make some movements. It's not just about starting pages and platforms anymore. It's about reaching out to folks in our local area, and really talking to some of our councilmen and getting things going. I think that's the next step for you and I, is we get a couple more good brothers in here, man. We can look at some platforms out there where guys are, and we'll find out real quick if they're doing it for the money or for the movement, right? So, what I'm saying? We'll reach out to some people. I want y'all to know that this should be a good 4 or 5 man panel at least Sunday mornings, where we talk about issues that affect us throughout the week, where we can talk to our young people and say, hey, look, you want to have life. You want to have it more abundantly. Don't make mistakes as a young person, young men and young women. Don't make mistakes being hot and fast or hard-headed and hardcore and injure yourself permanently, right? Let's talk to them and lead them and guide them and say, hey, if you can hold on, there's, and it's about, tapping into resources. We also have to tap into some of these stars, but so we can have our own scholarships and give our young people something to hope for and to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
Absolutely.
It's time to put some stuff behind what we're doing. I have a podcast, and I just want you guys to know that it's my intention to continue to build wealth, so I can encourage you young people to know you can start literally from nothing. I was a ward of the court. I was state property as a young people. Y'all know this about me. I was raised in the juvenile system. I was raised in group homes and foster homes and stuff like that. Y'all might not know that about me. Years of my young life, I was in and out of jail. And finally, I was just, I was sleeping in beds that wasn't mine, around people I didn't know, in facilities. Y'all just don't understand that. From 11 through like 18, like it was difficult. It was difficult. It really was. To not be with your parents, your family, and it was difficult. It was a different walk of life. So a lot of you young people might feel like nobody understands you. We do. Many of us do. You just have to reach out to us and reach out for the assistance that you need. First Step Coaching, for all you young people, go there and look at it. It's a free 15-minute conversation with yours truly. And take advantage of that now, because pretty soon coming up here, I'll have to remove myself from the academy to pursue other things for the movement. So you'll be talking to a college intern that's learned the process and things of that nature. No less effective information, but it just won't be me. That makes sense, everybody? All right. So, Brother Basim, man, final word on this high school shooting, man. What are you saying to young people today?
Hey, let's wake up. Let's do a better job. Let's stop hurting each other and start loving each other, man. Life is serious. It's not a video game. Ain't no reset. Ain't no do-overs. Like I said, when you take that life, it's a wrap. So we need to do better as people and start loving each other opposed to hating each other.
All right.
Till the next time.
All right, Brother Basim, I'm going to go ahead and log this thing off. But let me just remove you. We're going to talk afterward in the after studio.
Okay.
That's how we do, everybody. But if you're a guest on my show, I will coach you live on your biggest obstacle. And then afterward, we can continue because that's the blessing of this StreamYard platform. Brother Basim, we will see you next Sunday, if not anytime soon, all right?
Peace.
All right, so I'm right here, man, Titan Wood Deep. Let me wrap this show up by saying I appreciate all of you for tuning in for this special Sunday episode. Me and Brother Basim are going to come together. It's not going to always be us talking about trauma experiences. We hope not. We want to come together and we're going to talk about some of the positive youth doing positive things in our communities, some of the positive people. We need to get you guys, we're going to get you guys connected to things that will hopefully give you young people hope, man, and let you know that life should be lived. It's to be lived. The violence and the hate and the anger, the anguish and the trauma, that's not living. That's dying quickly or slowly, right? So let's live out there today. It's Tyvin Woodee, man. This has been a special weekend version of African Men Against Violence. Thank you.